Well, boys and girls, it's been a long time, but it's time for me to finish Aliens Stole My Dog by Ian Whybrow, illustrated by Tony Ross. We're on Chapter 7. The Clergs Learn How to Have Fun. What a responsibility for Commander Gasper of Earth Life Explorer! He took a deep breath before he set off on the most important mission of his life to save the world and rescue his teacher, a lollipop lady, and his pet dog. But what on earth should he choose? Hold tight, he yelled, and hit the maximum thrust button. What a feeling. Scared as he was, David felt he was playing the most exciting game of his life. His mom and dad were always complaining about the amount of time he spent mucking about on his game station and his computer. But all that practice was going to come in handy. First, I shall show you something we call fun, he shouted. Observe and stand by to copy, crew, ordered the commander. David dropped the ship to the ground, level in a dive that took his breath away. He whizzed under bridges and through railway tunnels and hopped over hedges and houses until he came to the park. He zigzagged slowly across it, pointing out to the aliens all the special places like tree houses and dens, swings and seesaws and slides, and the good skateboard places, and the secret hidey holes. The commander was very impressed. Fun is good, he agreed. Copy, crew. The little clergs had a brilliant time playing different games. Fun copied and stored, Commander, trilled one who had become a roundabout. Then he spun round really fast until he almost disappeared. When he stopped, he was his old shape again. The rest of the crew followed his example, turning into cowboys or cops or seesaws or skateboards for a second before returning to their normal shape. David pulled back on the joystick, zoomed high into the sky, and then shot down towards the bypass. Below him, he saw the red tiles of the supermarket. Carefully, he guided the ship until it was hovering in front of the plate glass window by the checkouts. Stand by to beam up, he commanded. Shoom! A tray of bubblegum appeared in the beam upper chamber. This really is a most wonderful material, cooed the commander, chewing like mad. So this is what earthlings need to exercise their faces. Interesting. Now watch, said David. I will show you our way of making a new world. He blew a large pink bubble. Blurg, said all the clergs. That was their way of saying wow. They all took some bubblegum and noisily chewed and blew. Meanwhile, David set a course for his school. He raced the traffic along Arkwright Road, skipping in and out among the buses and cars. He skimmed into Crown Street, over the football pitch, over the wire fence, and across the playground. When he was outside his classroom, he switched to reverse thrust and shuddered to a halt. He could see the vivarium clearly through the windows. Shoom! Up came a nice fat snail. I collected this for you because it is one of Earth's most fabulous creatures, said David. The commander was terribly impressed by its propulsion unit. Ah, you mean its foot? Yes, it makes its own road, said David, and drives an armored ship. Ah, he reminds me of our leader, especially his slime and his lovely eyes on stalks, sighed one of the crew. How marvelous! Blurg! Now, I have one more special thing for you to take with you to Planet Kirk, said David. In it is the history of all the things that the Earthlings of Elmfield have used for many, many years to keep themselves alive. It will give your leader much fun to study. Ah, more fun! Fun is good, burbled the commander happily. David pulled hard on the joystick, and the spaceship lurched off to the west, beyond the bypass and the factories. It took less than 2 seconds before they were hovering over great ugly heaps of rubbish. We call this the town dump, explained David. Shoom went the beam upper. All the garbage of 100 years and more was sucked on board the Earth Life Explorer, shrunk and carefully sealed in space tubes. Chapter 8. Living on Another Planet. The following Monday, when school was over, David strolled across the playground with his hands in his pockets. he saw Mr. Giles trotting towards him in his red tracksuit, bouncing a football. "Hands out of your pockets, lad," he said. "You're slouching." "Sorry, sir," said David. "You spend too much time with those snails, lad," he grinned. "You should get out more, run around a bit, get some exercise. Just smell the lovely air. I bet you haven't even noticed that the council got rid of that dreadful dump at last." "It wasn't the council, sir," muttered David. "Don't mumble, lad." "Sorry, sir. I said, are you feeling better, sir?" "What are you talking about, lad?" "Well, you've been away, haven't you, sir?" "Just a little bit of a cold, that's all, David. But when you spend your life in the fresh air like me, you soon get over that type of thing." "So you don't remember anything weird happening to you, sir?" "Now, David, you're getting carried away. You want to watch that." "So you didn't then, sir?" Mr. Giles opened his mouth to reply, but a shout from the lollipop lady interrupted him. "Hoy, slow coach! Are you going to cross this road today, or have I got to hold up the traffic up until Wednesday?" "Sorry," said David. "Honestly, Mr. Giles, some of these kids, it's like they're on a different planet." "I know exactly what you mean," called Mr. Giles. David smiled to himself and broke into a trot. It was time to take his dear old Harry Spice for a walk. Then he'd pop along to Arkwright Road and see whether his dad's business had picked up. He hoped so. There was a new computer game he fancied. It was called Space Rescue 2. David reckoned he might be good at that. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story. Sorry for the long break between finishing it. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye.